The midterm elections just over a month away now, and one of the most consequential battleground states is Pennsylvania.
Yep, on November 8th, voters are going to pick the state's new governor and senator in races that will help shape the future of the state, maybe even the country for years. Let's bring in now Pennsylvania's current governor. There he is, Tom Wolf. Term limits got you, so you're not going to be able to be on the ballot, but you have a fellow Democrat, Josh Shapiro, going up against the Republican Doug Mastriano. Now, the Democrat, Shapiro, does have a double-digit lead. But given the makeup of your legislature there, if a Republican ends up in the governor's seat there, do you think there's going to be an abortion ban in Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Hi, Amy and TJ. It's good to be with you. Yeah, I mean, elections have consequences. People really have to vote. And if an anti-choice governor is elected in the 2022 election in November in a month, then chances are Pennsylvanians are going to be facing a very different situation when it comes to the control of their own bodies.
Governor Wolf, according to a recent poll, the most important issue for Pennsylvania voters right now, not a shock here, the economy and inflation, followed by abortion rights, and then gun control. What is the messaging for Democrats right now to voters in Pennsylvania on the economy and inflation, given that so many people are hurting?
Well, let me take them in order here. The economy, Pennsylvania is doing really well. We just had our another month of declining unemployment. I guess the national rate actually increased by a couple points. We were down. We actually have a strong fiscal situation in Pennsylvania right now, and things are going quite well. Everybody in the country is facing inflation, which is why I'm calling the Pennsylvania Opportunity Plan, which is to give $2,000 a check to Pennsylvanians who are struggling. I want to increase the minimum wage and things that I think really help Pennsylvanians. So the economy is on everybody's mind, but in Pennsylvania, I think things are looking generally pretty good. When it comes to a woman's right to choose to make her own health care decisions, that is on the ballot. People have to vote. This is a democracy. And the same thing is true of gun violence. I think it's something we ought to be concerned about and stop just skirting around and actually address head on, and that is recognize that guns are at the heart of gun violence.
Governor, there were a lot of unfounded claims about voter fraud during the 2020 election. Some of them were focused and directed to your state of Pennsylvania. Is there much you can do about that in this election cycle? Is there any law you can pass? Is there any statement you can make? Are those just going to be there?
I hope not. I mean, I have been making statements, and I think the folks who claimed there was fraud in the 2020 election had their day in court 61 times, and they lost. Pennsylvania, the vote was fair and accurate. The count was accurate, and our Department of State is doing everything to make sure that this election is exactly the same. I think we need to do everything we can to make sure people have confidence in their elections, and I am committed to doing that. Did it in 2020 and do it again in 2022.
Governor, we mentioned Pennsylvania is one of the most consequential battleground states coming up on these midterm elections. What is your message to people in your state who are deciding right now who they want in all of the varying offices within your state, from Congress to the Senate to governor? What's your message to Pennsylvania voters?
The message is this is a democracy, and elections do have consequences. Probably this election is more consequential than any election we've faced in a long time. So the message is simple: vote. This is your democracy. You need to get out, you need to vote, and we need to make sure that this country stays democratic, not autocratic. And we need to make sure that women continue to have the right to make the decisions that are so consequential when it comes to health care.
Well, Governor Tom Wolf, look, one way or another, Pennsylvania seems to be at the heart of anything when we have an election going on. So I'm sure a lot of attention will be focused on you.
TJ, we're always the heart. Pennsylvania's always at the heart of things, and I'm glad to hear you acknowledge that.
Yes, one way or another, you all end up at the heart of things. But no, really, we appreciate your time, and all eyes on that Senate race and governor's race there, so we will follow up. So we appreciate you being here with us, man, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you, Amy and TJ. It's good to be with you.
Well, hey there. there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.